The RaceBase software was designed to keep track of every single variable on your car with the least amount of effort as possible. The goal is to track everything on the car that you can change, from the carb to the suspension to the delay box to what you are putting into your practice tree. And with our preloaded variable option, we make it so that you don't have to type it in each and every one of those passes. When you create a variable, if you select yes to preload it, then it will automatically input the previous run's value every time. This means you can put in your setup information once and it will carry over into every pass until you change it. To create a new variable, click on the New Variable button. Click in the name field and type the name of the variable you want to create, such as front tire or delay box or whatever you would like. Next, select what type of variable it's going to be. If you do not want any decimal points, then select number. For 1 decimal point, select decimal 1, and so forth. If the variable to be saved are words, then select text. And if you would like to create a set of predefined options, then you can select dropdown. If you select dropdown, you will need to type in each option separated by a comma with as many options as you would like. The last option is the preloaded variable option. Selecting yes means that it will carry over the value each and every time, meaning you won't have to type it in for every pass. Selecting no will make it so the field is empty for new input for every pass. Next is the categories, which is very simply a grouping of variables. You can create a delay box category that has all of your delay box specific info. You can create a suspension category that groups all of your suspension variables together. You can have a run data category to keep track of important points from your data logger. The possibilities are endless, and you can have as many different categories as you would like. To create a new category, click on the New Category button and then select a variable from the Variables drop-down list and click on the Add to Category above. Then continue until you have added all of the variables you would like for that category. When you are done, scroll down and click on the Save Changes to Category button. To edit a category, simply select it from the Category drop-down list and you'll see all of your existing categories to choose from. You can change the order the variables are in by selecting the up or down arrow, and you can delete them as well. To add a new variable to the category, first select it from the Variables drop-down list and then click on the Add to Category above. You should now see that field at the bottom of your category. Once you are done, be sure to scroll down and hit the Save Changes to Category button. If you have gotten to a point where you have a different view for your add run and logbook, then it is recommended to put the most important non-ET slip variables into the important category and can drastically improve the usefulness of the visual logbook. The best way to think about a view is it is the order we actually view things in. We have 2 places that utilize a view, the logbook and the add run widget. Initially, both of these are set to the default view. However, it is highly recommended that you customize a specific view for the add run and have multiple views you toggle between for the logbook. Let's start by creating a new view specifically for just adding information after a pass. We are assuming that at this point you have added all of the variables you want to keep track of and then group them into categories. If you have not done so yet, now is a good time. However, you can also add and modify things later as well. We'll click on the New View button and then type Add Run into the name field. Next, we want to start adding all of the categories besides default and notes. Both of these categories are already placed in regardless of what your view is. If you have a category that shows variables from other categories, such as are important, then you do not need to add that to the view because the add run will only show a single variable at a time. Now that we have all of our categories, we want to think about the order that we want things to go in after a run. If the first thing you like to do is download your data logger and fill out important data points like launch RPM and temps and finish line EGTs, then you want that category to be at the top. If you prefer to fill out your ET slip first, then move that to the top. This is something that you can continuously tweak and play with to make it more streamlined for your process. Once you are done, click on Save Changes to View. Then in the Views Info section to the left, change the Add View to the Add Run view you just created, and if you go to Add Run icon, you'll see the data is now in the order you placed it. You will also notice that at the bottom, below the notes and the submit button, is a category called unused variables. If you forget to or choose not to add one of your variables to a category in the view, then those variables will show up here. This ensures that no variable is forgotten or left out of a run, and if those variables happen to be preloaded, then it will continue to carry them over as well, ensuring the most complete logbook possible. For the add run section, we want to use the same view every time, but the logbook is designed specifically to be viewed from multiple different ways. Remember, the view is the order that we view the categories and the variables in. So if we want to focus on different aspects of the car, we want to have different views. For instance, if we want to focus on our launch, we would create a category called launch, and in here we would put our launch temp, launch RPM, reaction time, 60 foot, and 330. And because the weather always affects the launch, let's add temperature and sunlight meter so we know how sunny it was during the pass, which will definitely correlate to the track temperature. Now we can create a view called launch, add the important category, then launch category, and then save changes to the view. And now if we select logbook and then click on the views option, we can see the launch view. And now we're looking at all of our launch statistics. We are able to focus and hone down into a specific aspect of your racing program. This is one of the aspects that makes the RaceBase program such a valuable tool in your toolbox. The final aspect of the Views widget is the info area. This is simply a quick and easy place to change the default logbook and add run view, as well as your logbook color. You can also access these and change these same menu options from the car widget as well. Please note that these are your default views, so if you change the view in the logbook views dropdown, it is only going to change it for that tab at that time. Opening a new tab or restarting the program will cause your logbook view to go back to the default listed here and in the cars widget. If you have any other questions, check out the FAQ to the left or go to our website computech.com for more content.